Mitch McConnell knows Trump provoked the violent attack on our Capitol and then watched television happily as his mob brutally beat police officers and hunted the vice president.
They're there to cheer Donald Trump, the guy who was morally and temperamentally responsible for the insurrection.
Wow.
It is stomach churning and it is gaslighting. It is the kind of emperor has no clothes kind of phenomenon.
One thing in common, we want to make America great again. We want to make our country great again. We're a nation that's in decline. We're a declining nation. We're a nation that is being laughed at all over the world. We have a leader that's being laughed at all over the world.
Donald Trump stormed Congress again, causing another insurrection. Liz Cheney's having an absolute fit over it. She put a full paragraph out there on X as her dad was helping calm down her PTSD. She had all of her nurses there again. Is it happening again? Is the Capitol being taken over again? Like, no, you're at home. You're not in Congress anymore because you got thrown out bigly because no one likes you. So she got on X and she posted this big post because of this image. Look at this. She's so mad about it. Here is Donald Trump insurrecting Congress again, breaking Mitch McConnell's hand right off of his body. Mitch McConnell's there wincing in tremendous pain. Tim Scott is supporting this attack. He's a co-conspirator in this new insurrection because he wants to be the vice president. And Mitch McConnell was also forced to drink a Diet Coke and he drank the whole thing. Trump's favorite drink. Trump's taken over Congress and Mitch McConnell's just a feeble old man who doesn't know any better. And so Liz Cheney says America is over again. Here's what she posted over on X. Very upset with this. Says Mitch McConnell knows Trump provoked the violent attack on our Capitol and then watched television happily as his mob brutally beat police officers and hunted the vice president. He knows Trump refused for hours to tell his mob to leave. And even then, with police officers bleeding, he kept repeating his election lies and praising the criminals. He knows Trump committed a, quote, disgraceful dereliction of duty. Where's she citing these from? Liz, you should put some footnotes in here. Are you just quoting yourself or what is this? And is a danger to our republic. Trump and his collaborators will be defeated and history will remember the shame of people like Leader McConnell who enabled him. So way to go there, Mitch, shaking hands with Hitler again. So Liz Cheney's obviously having a rough day. Kind of feels like she's going down the James Carville path, which is total midlife crisis and meltdown. So we're going to take a look at a couple of these clips from some of the weirdos, ultra upset that Trump insurrected again. But then JD Vance is going to come clean this up. And then we'll listen to what Trump said right in the aftermath of his visit to the Capitol because it is good. I think we've got a lot of energy on our side. We're looking forward to it. But MSNBC is trying the "Are you even a real Christian?" angle now. So we'll see a lot more of this. Hunter Biden is doing his Christian reborn again thing with his spiritual advisors showing up on TV. And now MSNBC is saying, you hate Jesus if you vote for Trump. I mean, how could you even vote for someone? Do you even have morals? Do you even know what ethics are? How could you do such a thing? Here is MSNBC carrying on.
Do you understand why?
Do I understand why they're doing it? I mean, no, I can't because I'm like you, right? I mean, I both thought Trump was unfit from the beginning and took people like Marco Rubio and so many of the other candidates in 2016, Ted Cruz, doesn't matter. Everybody was on our side back then. JD Vance, they all thought the exact same way we did. Some of them called themselves never Trumpers like us. And then we watched them for political expediency, for their own professional growth.
Because they realized that they were sold a lie from you people. It'd be wise if you smarted up and joined us.
Sort of tolerate Trump, make common cause with him, but celebrate him, become his biggest lickspittles and toadies. And there's something particularly painful.
What's up?
I think about them cheering him as he returns to the Capitol.
What's so hard for you?
As Nancy Mace said, he threatened their lives.
Whoa!
And one of the things that strikes me, you know, I run this group, Republican Voters Against Trump, and one of the number one reasons that people who voted for Trump twice say that they will not vote for him again is because he lied about the results of the election, saying that it was stolen, and then he fomented an insurrection. And for a lot of these Republicans, that was their red line. That was the end of it for them. And the fact that these people are now willing to make videos, put their faces on billboards saying, absolutely not, Trump's unfit, I won't vote for him, they have the courage to do that. They're willing to make that case. But members of Congress, people who purport to be devout Christians, who purport to back the blue, who purport to stand for the rule of law, they're there to cheer Donald Trump, the guy who was morally and temperamentally responsible for the insurrection. It is stomach churning and it is gaslighting. It is the kind of emperor has no clothes kind of phenomenon.
All right, that was a painful 2 minutes. Okay, so a lot to unpack there, but Christians, if you like the police, then you're a maniac forever supporting Trump. She's not the maniac. Everyone else is the maniac. And Trump was morally responsible for J6, which I think is what Nancy Pelosi already admitted she was responsible for. She said that in the aftermath of January 6th that she should have had more security there. We played that clip earlier in the week. Now, her hope to win in 2024 is to have Donald Trump not run. And the only way that's going to happen, since their lawfare attacks are not working, is if there's an intervention to stop Trump from running. Melania, Barron, Ivanka, Jared, come on, Don Jr., let's go, Eric. Rally the troops and just sit down with Trump and say, Mr. President, it's not in your best interest to lead America again. Is that what she thinks is going to happen?
So if we're going to do psychoanalysis of them, I think we have to have them in person in front of some healthcare professionals. But I do wish there would be an intervention from his family, assuming they love him beyond resources, assuming that they love him, that they would intervene, that the Republican Party would have an intervention. They have become a cult to a thug, and that is really a tragedy for the grand old party and what they were.
Okay, so they want an intervention. They are freaked out, my friends. They know that they're going to lose. All right, here's just a short one of Schumer. Then we'll jump into Vance and Trump. We got to make sure we know what the heck's going on out there. All right, so here is Schumer.
Democracy, and what a disaster he'd be as president. But none of them seem, or very few, a couple didn't show up, as you said, but very few, including McConnell. McConnell should have had the courage not to show up. He knows, I think he knows deep in his heart what Trump is like and what Trump would do.
No, all right, so that's McConnell and Schumer getting into it, apparently. We'll see if their breakfast is good this Sunday. Now, here's J.D. Vance. He was asked about this. Media says, Trump is still responsible for January 6th. He says, no, he's not. No one believes your stupid fake narrative. Liz Cheney got thrown out. No one even likes her anymore.
Republicans are being responsible for January the 6th.
Well, look, I think that no real Republican with any credibility in the party is still blaming him for January the 6th. Even, frankly, some of his critics were in the room and were supportive and are supporters. So it's a good thing, and I think the Republican Party's in a good place.
You've been one of his strongest critics.
They have their own rules.
All right, so J.D. Vance says no one even believes that. Republicans are getting unified now. Your fake narrative about J6 has been proven fake. We know the feds were all over the place. We know Capitol Hill Chief of Police Stephen Son had a lot of issues with what was done with security there. Nancy Pelosi just came out, admitted she was responsible for it. Sergeant at Arms for the Senate and the House, especially the House, was unavailable for some tactical responses, according to Stephen Son. The fake Beastie Boys, Capitol Hill Police, so-called, have all been shown to be liars, in my opinion. And so no one believes it. Party looks unified. Look at this good-looking crowd welcoming Donald Trump in. And by the way, happy birthday, Mr. President.
Well, thank you very much. This was a great meeting. There's tremendous unity in the Republican Party. We want to see borders. We want to see strong military. We want to see money not wasted all over the world. We don't want to see Russian ships right off the coast of Florida, which is what they are right now. That's unthinkable. We want to see just success for our country, and we don't have success right now. We have inflation that's killing everybody. We have levels of inflation that nobody's seen. They say 42 years, they say 53 years, and they say 75 years. I would say probably all of them are wrong. Probably we've never seen levels like this before. And we're going to end that. We're going to bring back our jobs. We're going to bring back common sense to government. We're going to have strong borders, and we're going to have people come into our country, but they're going to come in legally. They're not going to pour in from prisons all over South America and all over the world. And it's not just South America, by the way. It's all over the world. And we're not going to have them pour in from mental institutions, which is where they're coming from. Large numbers, and large numbers are terrorists, and we're not going to have this. So what's happening to our country is of great concern to the group of people standing alongside of me. And I just wanted to say that we have great unity. We have great common sense. A lot of very smart people in this room, and a lot of people that love our country. They love our country beyond just about all else. And the only thing that maybe supersedes it is their family
Ukraine
and maybe
also.
Their faith in certain instances.
Some of them
That's
Ukraine,
very nice.
too.
But they want this country to be great again, and we're going to make it great again. And so I just want to thank the Republican Senate, and I want to thank also the House. We met, as you know, with the full House, Republican House today, and we had a tremendous meeting with them also, and there's great unity. Very similar, different topics actually, but not that different. And there's one thing in common. We want to make America great again. We want to make our country great again. We're a nation that's in decline. We're a declining nation. We're a nation that is being laughed at all over the world. We have a leader that's being laughed at all over the world, and we're going to turn it around fast. The polls are looking like they're very strongly for us, and if you, no matter where you look, in fact, a lot of states that people thought weren't in play are very strongly in place. Some we're actually leading in. But we have to get elected. We have to take this beautiful place and we have to make it really something very special. Again, right now it's not special. Right now it's being scorned and being used as an example of when they look at the crime on the streets, when they look at all of the problems that we have, they're using us as a bad example of democracy. And they're getting away with murder, and we're not going to let it happen. So I just want to thank you for coming, and I want to thank everybody here. You're all either elected or you're going to be elected again and reelected, and I'm with every one of you, and you know that. I'll be with you always. And thank you very much for inviting me, and we're going to have great success. I think we're going to have a tremendous election. It's November 5th is very important, but we're going to start much earlier than that. You have North Carolina as an example. You have North Carolina September 6th. You have Pennsylvania starts on September 22nd. These are things different from the old days. We had election day and you had paper ballots and you had voter ID. Unfortunately, maybe someday we'll get back to that.
Maybe some signatures.
You don't have that right now. But this is an outstanding group of people. I'm with them 1,000%. They're with me 1,000%. We agree just about on everything. And if there isn't, we work it out. And I've had a really great relationship with just about everybody here, just about all of the senators. And if it wasn't fantastic, it gets worked out. And we have one thing in mind, and that's making our country great. So thank you all very much. We appreciate you being here. Thank you very much.
Wow. And so that's Donald Trump. That was his meeting with the Senate, and very nice welcome, very warm reception, claps all around. Wow. It does feel like there is some unity there. Is Joe Biden capable of doing something like that? Does he get the same support? Would he even be able to go up and speak for 5 minutes impromptu? No, of course not, because he's not competent. Trump has the support of the Republican Party. Looks like it is consolidating all around us. Very good news. That energy is in the air, my friend. Certainly feels like a 2016 vibe for sure. Liz Cheney's freaked out. MSNBC screaming at Christians. Chuck Schumer's mad at Mitch McConnell. Nancy Pelosi wants a family intervention, but Trump, all he wants to do is make America great again. So do we. We're going to be here continuing to cover this, my friends. Thank you for joining us as we do. We've got tons of great content on this channel, so we'd love for you to subscribe and join us as our coverage here continues. Thanks for also considering sharing this with a friend or family member if you enjoyed the content. We'd love it if you shared it, send it around so that they could see also what's going on here. We'll be back here on the next one, and we'll look forward to seeing you there. But before we exit, we have this great segment that's coming up right over here, and we'd love it if you check that one out because you're going to love hearing about what we talk about in that segment, which is the Supreme Court unbanning bump stocks.